All right, folks, let's chat about the RCF. What in the world is the Recurring Client Finder Program? Well, it's a client acquisition program for house cleaning companies, only house cleaning companies, and we're only looking for recurring clients, residential clients. This program doesn't offer commercial cleaning opportunities, even though they may come through. We are only targeting house cleaning clients. There's no software expenses, no management fees, no setup fees, no ad spend, and you only pay when you win. You pay a finder's fee when you successfully find a recurring client through the program. And the program itself is governed by a very powerful accountability mechanism, the ACQ score. So our most ideal members, they already have a sales team that's already in place and can win new clients. They've already proven themselves here. You operate in a strong market area, meaning a 30-mile radius around your company headquarters. You have enough opportunity, enough of a population there for our program to work, for our program to be successful. Our most ideal member also has high growth goals, or they are already operating at a high level in terms of monthly revenue. They're also familiar with and currently use a CRM in their company of some sort. This really shows the next level of lead generation and client acquisition. The evolution of a successful business owner eventually goes from pen and paper to like a spreadsheet and then to software. So you should already be using software, be using a CRM in your business somewhere at some point, because we're going to give you software to manage sales opportunities here. And we want to make sure that you are already familiar with how software works. We're not here to handhold at every stage of the journey, which is why we need to build out our ideal member profile. Our most ideal members, prospective members, also understand the importance of lightning quick TTLs. That stands for time to lead. So in terms of minutes, that number should be very, very, very low. They understand that getting back to a lead or replying to even a paying client, how important it is. We're not going to spend our time trying to teach you how important it is. You should already come to the program understanding that much. And lastly, it's called articulation, but what that means is you're able to describe your lead follow-up process. So on some applications, folks are describing how they follow up after they clean a client. This is for following up with new leads and sales opportunities. So if you get a new lead and it comes in and you text them and you call them, you leave a voicemail and you don't hear from them, like what's your follow-up process after that? Be able to describe, at which stage does this email go out? At which day does this text message go out? How do we follow up with them? How many times do we follow up with them until we give up and move on to the next, basically? Things like that. Be able to describe your follow-up process, because if you're able to describe it, I know that it's there, which means you already understand its importance as well, and we can coach that. It's really difficult to coach someone on the why of why we do all of this, but if you come to us with already understanding and having a good foundation on the why, a good follow-up process is in place, you fall under the category of a most ideal member. All right, so finder's fees. This is what a member pays to the RCF when they successfully acquire a new recurring client through the RCF program. It's a one-time flat fee of $250 only for recurring clients. All one-time clients found are free of charge, unless later converted to recurring clients, which we have processes and automations to do. And that is the ultimate goal. We're trying to find recurring clients. So just because you get a one-time clean, it doesn't mean you're you're scot-free. It just means like, listen, if they never become a client again, you don't have to pay anything. But if we can convert them to a recurring, that finder's fee is definitely due. All finder's fees are processed at the during the last full week of each month, and they are due once a month on the 8th, no later than midnight. So it's 11:59:59. We should put Eastern on the 8th of each month. So is this even worth it? $250 finder's fee, no software expenses, no ad spend, no management fees, no setup fees. Is this really worth it, though, to pay $250? I broke it down into 3 bullet points. And on the next page, it'll break out what it looks like over the next 12 months. So including the controlled ramp period, which I should have. I should put it up further. Okay, so the controlled ramp period is a 3 to 5 month phase. Like the first 3 to 5 months you're with us. It is a steady, controlled approach, gradually increasing the flow of leads over time. We are not rushing to generate as many leads as possible. Please refrain. I know it will be difficult, but refrain from asking about lead volume when you are just starting out. We do this because it allows new members to familiarize themselves not only with the process of the RCF program, but also the CRM, which is Nurturely Plus. Nurturely Plus is a white labeled version of High Level. It also ensures that the quality of service to your own clients remains high, because we do have the ability to flood you with sales opportunities. And if you can close new clients like at a high enough rate, you're going to take on a ton of clients. But we don't want you to sacrifice the level of service you already offer, you already give to your current clients. So doing this allows you to grow with us, or allows us to grow with you, so you can get used to the entire program and grow accordingly. So back up to the ROI question, is it even worth it? So including that 5-month phase where we're not getting you the full amount. So the full goal, the primary goal, is to get each member to acquiring 10 new recurring clients each month. Well, that's going to take a bit of leads every month, a bit of new sales opportunities. But the first 3 to 5 months aren't going to allow for that. So we're even in this example, so including that first 3 to 5 month slow period, we're looking out 12 months from now. Okay, so today is November 21st. Let's say November 21st, looking out 12 months is 2024. So these first 3 to 5 months, November, December, January, February, March, April, that's our controlled ramp period. And May 2024 will start, bringing it. But even over those first 12 months, we will acquire 78 new clients, recurring. You'll get some one-time cleans, but we don't really know how to factor that. Ultimately, we're going after recurring. That's our focus. You're going to have 78 new recurring, whether that be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, all while already factoring a 20% churn rate. That means over the next 12 months, about 20% of the clients we send you are not going to continue service. We understand that. You're going to pay finder's fees on them. But I'm showing you here, even if 20% of them do, you're going to end up with $15,600 per month in new MRR, which is monthly recurring revenue, in that first 12 months. Directly from the RCF. So you're growing elsewhere, right? I can only calculate what the RCF is going to send you, but you're going to undoubtedly get opportunities elsewhere. So this is not only what your company will grow by, this is just what the RCF will be responsible for. This is while assuming a $200 average monthly value, just trying to take the average of like what a weekly client is worth per month. So like if their visit is $100 times 4, that's $400 a month, right? Most clients are either monthly or biweekly, but we just use a $200 monthly value estimate. And this quote here is from Chris Wilson, RCF's new sales mentor, and the primary member of RCF Dayton. He said, "When I first found your program, I was blown away on what the process was and how much each client costs from you. So the way I simplified it in my head is if I took a client that paid the biweekly minimum of $150, that's $300 a month or $3,600 a year. While the $250 fee eats a bit of that away in the grand scheme of things, the fee is so minimal compared to what the lead is ultimately worth. Plus, their first clean from us is always hourly, and we typically make 50% profit on a $400 first-time clean, roughly. That's almost the finder's fee right there. Now, in this example where I talk about the $15,000, I only used that $200 a month average. He used $300, and they make a 50% profit on the first time clean. Whereas our example, I only used a 20% profit, as shown here. How this looks over your next 12 months. Let's say we invest $1,000 worth of ad spend into your market area, and we can achieve a cost per lead or cost per opportunity of $15. We're going to get 67 leads. If we convert only 8% of those, we're going to get 5 clients. CAC is cost per acquisition, and that remains fixed. That's finder's fees. So it's your acquisition cost per client. Since we send you recurring clients, you're paying a fixed $250 fee every single time that happens. $250. We are estimating or averaging that your monthly client value is only $200. You're going to have to kind of work with me on what yours actually is. Chris, in his example, used a $300 a month example. So the numbers are even bigger. We used a 20% churn and a 20% profit margin. So at this rate, it'll take 7 months on average to pay back a new client. From there on, it's pure profit. This is an extremely conservative estimate. Now, a lot of folks will get hung up on the payback period, which is 7 months. That isn't really feasible for a startup because a startup needs the profit right away to put the money back into it. But the bigger, more established companies, the ones that can afford sales teams, typically have a marketing budget already factored in every month or an annual budget factored in. So they need to spend X amount of dollars elsewhere in order to generate X amount of new business systematically. Those are the folks that this will work for. It is not going to work the best for brand new companies, like I said, because you need the profit to reinvest almost immediately and live off of. Typically, startups don't have those. They don't have sales teams either, and the ones that have sales teams are more established and actually do understand the concept of acquisition costs and churn rates and all that good stuff. All right, this ACQ score. What is it? Well, it is the main governing metric of the RCF program, but it is also the mother of all house cleaning client acquisition metrics. It does have a favorable lean towards Facebook ads in terms of scoring the ad campaigns, which we can address later, but that is primarily the driver of the RCF, so it works perfectly. The ACQ also helps determine who gets funding, oh my goodness, and who doesn't. It also helps establish and assign program standings, whether or not they're at good standing, at risk, probation, or ultimately expelled. The exact formula is listed in RCF University, which university is free for anyone to enroll in. But graduating university does not guarantee membership into the RCF. You have to have an application token along with it. The ACQ is also it's really it's the measure of a member's ability to win new clients. Like if they're efficient at delivering estimates to new sales opportunities, and they're also effective at closing those estimates into new clients. They achieve a high ACQ score and a really good standing within the RCF. It also serves as an incredibly powerful accountability mechanism, like I mentioned earlier, in the way that it gives you one number that you can use to look at someone in a different market area and compare client acquisition strategies or performance, I should say. So then you can look at other members and see who might be performing better and try to learn from those folks. Rather than wondering who you should be learning from, you can look at the RCF scorecard and see who is doing well and who has been doing well over the last 90 days and who you should be seeking help from or advice. This is what the scorecard looks like. In the number 2 slot, we've got RCF Dayton. Again, that is Chris Wilson. He is the RCF's first ever sales mentor, and he will be the go-to for all things sales conversion for our RCF members. It is offered free of charge to anyone in the RCF, and we're really excited about this. I didn't think we were going to be able to do this until we had about 50 members, but it's obvious that it's needed right now, and the opportunity just presented itself in a way that we could not turn down. So we're moving forward with the sales mentor role, and a lot of you have already scheduled a call with him to kind of get acquainted and then set yourselves for a solid 2024. The ultimate goal, right here, let's focus on ACQ. The ultimate goal is a positive ACQ score. If you have a positive score, you're good. Obviously, the higher the better. If you're positive, we're not going to be worried about your performance, really. So we can also notice here if you have a positive ACQ score, but your program standing is anything other than good, it is almost certainly due to a billing issue. So we publicly display this information not only for you, but as an accountability mechanism that is ultimately serving the best interest of your company. You sought out the RCF because you were looking to add recurring clients to your book of business. That is exactly what we do. And if we don't hold you accountable while watching you struggle or not perform up to your potential, we're enabling bad behavior. This is how we exercise that accountability, and this is how we do it in a healthy way to show you as well. We give everyone an alias, basically. So like RCF Myrtle Beach, RCF Salt Lake City. You don't know the company names. You don't know the members' names. Although if you do a little bit of research, I'm sure it's not difficult to find out who they are. It's just not publicly displayed. We do this so that we can speak to them individually while also speaking to the entire group of members, because one day this isn't only going to be 16, it's going to be hundreds, if not 1,000. Ultimate goal. We're strategically peppering ourselves across the country in 30-mile radius dots, provided there's enough people that live there, in building digital assets. The only goal of these assets is to take internet traffic and convert them into sales opportunities for house cleaning clients, recurring house cleaning sales opportunities. For the time being, we are looking for members who we can just send these sales opportunities to. From there, we grade that performance. We score it using the ACQ, determining whether or not you can stay with us in the program and if we need to find someone else. Ultimately, it's in the best interest of you and your company. But at the same time, it does ensure profitability of the program so that we can ensure funding is evenly distributed. RCF University, it should be out of order, or this is out of order. It educates on the program, the RCF program. It's not a deep dive into client acquisition strategies, tips, and tactics. You should already be quite proficient on client acquisition, but we're going to be a little bit of gasoline onto that fire now, especially with the sales mentor role. But the RCF program is not going to be where you learn all of that. The RCF program is where you learn specifically about the program, the policies, the terms, what's expected of you, and what you can expect from us. All of that good stuff. Then we will bring you into our community where you're going to learn how to just blow up your company and become the strongest, most powerful house cleaning company in your market area. Inside RCF University, there are 3 exams: Intro to the RCF, Nurturely Plus 101, and then a written exam, shortened as the PAS exam. It stands for the Practical Application Strategy. We just want to hear in your words how you're going to use our resources, how you're going to have your team adapt and implement the RCF into current sales processes, and how you're going to really just see to it that you'll find success. We want to hear that in your own words. The Practical Application Strategy exam is only offered to potential members who have applied and gotten an application token. So if you go through RCF, like I said, it is free to enroll. Anyone can go in there and learn about the program. You can do these 2 exams, but I don't believe you'll get this one. It won't trigger this PAS exam unless you have the token. And if you have a token, it means you've applied. It means you've been accepted. That's the only way to get a token and this PAS exam. A high-level look at what the onboarding flow looks like. You'll graduate that RCF University. You'll go through. You'll get your next steps and your instructions all via email. You're going to sign our agreement and just make sure we're on the same page and we agree to everything. It's quite standard. It's nothing that's going to blow your mind, but we have to do it just to make sure, like I said, we're on the same page. You'll give us your branding information so that we can build the asset that we're building out, so it matches exactly your branding, so it looks as if it's you. So when people go there and request an estimate, it's as if it's you. They see nothing. They never hear anything about the RCF. Everything is as if it is you. Once we have that, we start building that asset. Before we launch, we have you approve it and make sure there's everything is good on there. And most of the time, there's something that needs to be changed because we have a default template that we build out, but we don't always have the correct information. That this is a critical part in the onboarding flow. It is set apart just so that you can have that confidence that we're trying to brand everything and match everything perfectly with what you have already. Then you're going to get your clearing to launch checklist. You'll get that the same time as your Nurturely Plus login credentials. If you don't get it in your inbox, please be sure to check your spam folders. Sometimes it goes there, sometimes it doesn't. I really don't even know why it does and it doesn't on those times. So please just be sure to check a spam if necessary. You're also, you're going to get your launch day, your official launch date before this. It's usually going to be right before build asset, but this is launch day. It's nothing wild. It's just it signals the official day where we press go on your campaigns. We activate them. You'll usually receive your first lead or 2 within 48 hours or 48 hours after your launch date. Then begins the controlled ramp period. Like I briefly mentioned before, 3 to 5 months after the launch day. We're not trying to flood you with sales opportunities right out of the gate, so please don't think that. We're not going to, because we want to make sure that you're totally familiarized with the program, with the CRM, that you can make the most out of every sales opportunity we send you. Now, the asset. Again, it's the main property where the RCF sends internet traffic to generate sales opportunities ultimately for the members. These are house cleaning sales opportunities. Sales opportunities versus leads is very important, because a lead, we don't generate leads in the RCF, even though they are leads. They are sales opportunities. A lead is just name and email, or name, email, and phone number, or name and phone number. Hell, just a phone number, just an email address, just a way to contact someone is a lead. Like when detectives, someone calling in an inbound phone call, just giving one tidbit of information without contact information is considered a lead. Yet business owners often think a lead is someone oh my gosh, I've been looking for this cleaning company for 3 years. Here, I'm willing to pay 3 times your amount to get on your schedule tomorrow. That's not a lead. A lead is someone that you can contact successfully, ideally. But a sales opportunity is a lead with intent. This intent is house cleaning sales. They are looking for a house cleaning service because they have gone to your asset. They've gone to that landing page. I'll show you one here. I need to quit that. This is Dayton's. It matches their branding perfectly. And the layout typically resembles every other member's. So we send every bit of internet traffic here, and when they click this button, they fill out this form and become a sales opportunity. Some people will call, some people will text. Either way, sales opportunities originate from this asset, not just leads, even though they are leads, because they still are people you can contact, but they have intent with them because we know their intent because of where they came from. These assets can also rank very well in Google, and we use the ACQ to determine who we invest more in SEO, who we invest in SEO more for. I'm sure there's a better way to say that. So, long story short, we're not going to spend very much money on in the New Bedford area in terms of SEO, because why would we, when we can spend it in Orlando, for example? Branding completely matches your company. It ranks highly in Google, Bing, all the search engines. Hosted on the housecleaning.io domain, so it ranks very well. It's got really good keyword intent, really good link juice as well. And again, right before I show you the application link, our most ideal member, you've already got a sales team. You're operating in a strong market area. You have high growth goals for your company. Or you're already operating at a high enough revenue mark. You're going to have to be able to prove this stuff too, so please do not lie. That would be really bad. You're familiar with and you already implement and use a CRM in your company. You understand the importance of lightning quick TTLs, and you can articulate, even if it's briefly, you're able to successfully articulate your lead follow-up process. You will have a strong application score. You will be able to then go into RCF University with an application token, with an accepted status. And once you graduate RCF University, we're able to build out your asset and start sending you leads. It's as simple as that. Now, I say it's simple because it's those few steps. RCF University is no joke. There's a lot of information in there, and we make sure that you know it before you come to us, because we want to hit the ground running and do it fast, and we reward the best behavior possible. And that's good grades, good scores in the RCF University. So at rcf.nurturely.io/application, you'll find that application form. We will get that. We process them once or twice a week. We are only really taking applications the next 9 days until the end of November. And that closes out RCF 002. So 002 has to graduate RCF University by the end of December. And then next, we're looking forward to 003. We have a lot of changes coming in play. So we are closing off that cohort of 002, and we will have our first 2, technically 3 classes in. Scored on your market. Are enough people living in your area? Do you have high growth goals? Do you have a team in place already? Do you have someone in the office? Do you have a salesperson already? Do you have an admin? Do you have enough cleaners, a big enough team? Do you have a high enough acquisition score? Do you deliver enough estimates every single month? Because that's extremely important to deliver a lot of estimates every single month. It's not you have to have a goal of getting as many people you're pricing as possible, but also focus on closing them. So we want to see both of those. We want to see your outreach score, a good outreach score. That's basically your articulation, your use of a CRM, and your TTLs. If your time to lead, if you're able to quickly and effectively get in touch with leads, you're going to have a good outreach score. All of that combines for your total application score, and we use that to determine whether or not we accept your application to move forward into the process. So it's quite robust, it's quite complex, but it ensures we get the best of the best in each market area. From there, the RCF University will teach you everything you need to know about the program, what to expect, what we expect from you, so on and so forth. So if you think this is you, we would love to see your application come through. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. We'd love to see your application come through. Please do it before November 30th. I think there's only 30 days in November. November 30th at midnight Eastern time. We'll get your application processed quite quickly and send you on through. Thanks for checking us out. Talk to y'all soon.